So if you use the mirror function in that MotoFun International app, then you can use your Waze or your Google.
Oh, you can
mapping.
use more than...
You could even play Netflix. There's a guy showing Netflix being played up on the screen on that large.
Really? It just mirrors your back? Okay, that's even better than I thought. Hi folks, I'm Nate with Two Guys to Ride. Today Rob and I are in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada, and we're at the Ames Expo Power Sports Trade Show, and I'm here with John.
Yes.
John, thanks for spending some time with us today. Now, we've been talking about the Motomorini motorcycles that you have here, and this one, which is the X-Cape 700, is an update to what you previously had.
That's right. So we had an X-Cape 650. And so we've now increased the engine size.
Okay.
So it's now a 700. So the engine is now stroke 3 millimeters.
Okay.
So we upped the horsepower from 60 horsepower to 70.
Okay.
Torque grew from 42.5 foot-pounds of torque to 50.5 foot-pounds of torque.
Okay.
Basically 18% more power. And when you're talking about an engine,
That's
in this
a lot.
range, you're going to use it. You're going to feel it. It's going to be enjoyable. So that's a nice thing. The architecture of the engine is basically the same. We did also add a slipper clutch. So a lot of people like a slipper clutch, which basically means when you're on downshifts, if you downshift aggressively, let's just say you were riding and you maybe too quickly put it into second gear, without the slip shift, you're going to have a tire that chirps.
Right.
And with the slipper clutch, basically the clutch opens up a little bit and allows you to smoothly slow down without the chirping.
Okay. I've been there, done that before.
All right.
I know what that feels like. Okay. What about the I'm assuming fiberglass.
So we
Right
got
here?
it's a plastic.
Okay.
Yep, it's plastic.
Is that new?
So they
update.
they did update the shape, especially up in the front. So the gas tank area looks kind of similar to last year.
Okay.
But you'll notice that they have a slight redesign here. We have a new windscreen.
Okay.
So the operating mechanism, I'll step in here. So the old unit had a little twist dial.
Okay.
And now we have a mechanism that basically we're going to push it and slide it.
Oh, it is adjustable.
Slide it. So a 2-inch adjustment up and down, and it's pretty easy to do while you ride.
Yeah.
The last one had a dial, and you could do it while you're riding.
It was a little hard,
had
but
to
you got
twist and turn
okay.
and then lift.
Can you also mount something to that?
Yes. So
Okay.
some people will mount their GPS device, or some that people may mount a phone up there.
I'm thinking aftermarket Apple CarPlay Android Auto units too. But
Yeah, there's a couple different options that people can do things there.
now, the dash is that new?
So the 7-inch TFT is been on the 23 and 24.
Okay.
There's a couple different little details where they've changed the color here and there, but the full featured functions is on the 23 and 24. You are going to notice that we now have dual USB and a USB-C
Oh, that's new.
port.
Yeah.
So we used to have dual USB on one side.
But they were
so-
both USB-A's and not...
Correct.
Now you got an additional USB-A plus a USB-C.
You got 4 outlets, yeah. So
That is nice. That's a nice addition.
Another feature that a lot of people don't know is on an X-Cape is that these handlebars can be put into 6 different positions. So
And they're pre-drilled holes.
there's 3 pre-drilled, pre-tapped. So you got 3 post positions.
Okay.
And then the riser is offset by 5 millimeters. So you can go this way, this way. So you can go 1, 2, 3, this.
Oh,
So
wow.
The offset on the riser is 5.
Okay.
The posts are 15 millimeters apart. So you can get it just right.
Right. That's really neat. Okay. The screen, I'm assuming, is controllable from the handlebars. It's not like a touch screen.
So yes, you've got a hand switches here.
Now, I understand that through the Motomorini app, right, the newest app, you can, although this has its own built-in navigation from Motomorini, if you want to use Google Maps, there's a connection through the phone app that allows you to display at least turn-by-turn directions from Google here.
So
Am I wrong?
the bike comes standard with a QR code. So if we turn the key on, we'll see a QR code come up for the maps. So there's a MotoFun International app. That app works directly with our machine.
Okay.
Now within that app, there's an option to mirror. So if you use the mirror function in that MotoFun International app, then you can use your Waze or your Google.
Oh, you can
mapping.
use more than.
You could even play Netflix. There's a guy showing Netflix being played up on the screen on that large.
Really, it just mirrors your back. Oh, okay, that's even better than I thought, because I thought it was limited to Google. But
yeah, so that
man.
and that app is like $2.99 a month or something like that. So
Okay, it's a monthly fee. That's a good thing to
there are
know.
some fees that can be involved, and some people freak out, but most of the time that's less than their half the cost of their coffee cup.
Yeah. Now, anything updated with the tires and wheels, brakes?
No. So one thing that people often miss is it has Acron tubeless spoke rims. Those were on the 23 and 24. They remain. Pirelli Scorpion Rally ATR tires, which are fantastic. Brembo brakes, rated lines, 298 millimeter rotors. So excellent brakes.
The ABS.
And that was on the model before. Tire pressure monitoring system is standard.
Oh, nice.
So on the screen, we can show the tire pressure. If they're low, it'll give you a little low warning like your car.
Okay.
Yep.
Anything new on the suspension?
So suspension is same as last year.
Okay.
The bike is the pipe exhaust is all new.
Oh.
So the exhaust used to end right here, and now we eliminated a lot of weight with the catalytic converter that was under the bike.
Okay.
So before we had a large collector underneath the bike and then a short exhaust. Well, now we have one exhaust collector there and then into the exhaust.
Okay.
So we've added a center stand to this bike. Now the bike here, right here, is an early one, and it doesn't have it on there.
Okay.
But they will come with the center stand on there. So we added the weight of a center stand, but we took off weight on the muffler. So they end up with basically the net weight as the same bike before, but you now have a center stand, which is very useful for a lot of people.
Let's walk around the other side here. So the seat has got a real that's a big curve. I think you noticed that because it's not the gas tank and it's the seat. But anyways, nice. It's nice non-slip texture.
That's right. And so the Motomorini X-Cape 700 and 650 have one of the lower seat heights in the adventure category. So this is 33.3 inches.
Okay.
We offer a 1-inch lower seat.
Okay.
And that whole seat assembly retails for $130, $129.
Okay.
And it's 1 inch lower, so it's 32. And then I also offer a 1 inch taller seat than standard, which is about 34, and it's a single seat that comes all the way back like the other bike we have on the floor over there.
Okay, so the difference will be in how high the actual seat is.
That's right.
Connection points are the same, but it's okay. Interesting. So, does Motomorini sell accessories for the bikes? And in specific, I'm talking about back in this area. Let's say you wanted to have some type of baggage carriage,
Right.
or back support for a passenger, or something. Do they have that?
So yes, and in fact, this adventure bike is really ready for adventure riding with all the accessories we offer. In fact, you can fully outfit a Motomorini X-Cape 700 for around 10 grand and have it all in. So we have a 3-piece hard luggage case.
Okay.
So one of the cool things is the engineering on the Motomorini. If you look at the subframe, so down underneath here, the post holes are already drilled and tapped on the seat, this back rack. So I pull these caps off, and there's 4 bolts.
Okay.
And so the accessories, the plate mounts to the top, the arms are broken. I never remove these arms. I never remove the plastic, so I can very simply install it. Even a do-it-yourselfer can easily mount the luggage to the bike.
Okay.
Or take it off. So they're all drilled there. Also, on the front, you'll notice my drop bars connect, and the mounts for the drop bars, these 3 bolts, and then this one here, they're already drilled and tapped, ready to mount the drop bars. Also in the front of the fairing is a frame tab with pre-drilled and tapped for the drop bars there. So the bike behind you has the drop bars mounted, so you can see how it looks when they're installed. But very cool that they're already done from the factory.
Yeah, that's really neat. Okay, so there are ways to customize the bike and add like luggage storage if you want to take it on a longer drive.
Right, and skid plate. We've got an aluminum skid plate to protect your exhaust and bottom of the engine.
Does it have different drive modes?
So we have a mode for off-road.
Okay.
So there is off-road, and then there is the street.
Okay.
And so in the off-road mode, you're able to turn off the ABS. So on the Motomorini X-Cape, when you turn off the ABS, it turns off the ABS to both wheels.
Okay.
So you're just like a dirt bike.
Okay.
Not halfway in between. Some bikes are just front or rear, whatever.
Right.
So ours just turns it off.
Okay.
And then you can turn the bike on and off with it in the ABS off
Okay.
by this switch here.
Okay.
But if you do turn the key off, then it resets back to having ABS on as a safety
That's
step.
a safety feature, right? But you do have a sort of an off-road mode and a driving on-road paved
That's
mode.
right.
Okay. All right. Now, we mentioned earlier that, or you mentioned earlier that decked out it'd be around 10,000. But as we see it here, what does this model sell for?
So this is selling for $79.99.
Wow.
And right now we have the 24s that are $1,000 off, and they are $69.99. And we have 23s, a few of them left at dealers and a couple in our warehouse that are selling for $499. A whole lot of motorcycle for an inline twin machine with 60 horsepower and all these features and two.
Well, it is anti-lock brakes. You've got complete digital screen, ride modes. I mean, that is just that's crazy pricing.
Yes.
So I'm a customer. I want the updated version. Is it available, or when will it be available?
So the X-Cape 700 is expected this summer.
Okay.
So we're kind of hoping May that we might start seeing some and get them out to dealers late May, June. But these things have a way of they're sometimes changing a little bit, but summer for sure.
So Motorini usually offers a really good warranty. Does that apply to this too? The 3-year?
Right. 3-year unlimited mileage warranty.
Unlimited miles.
Another thing that our customers love is that the valve clearance inspection is at 25,900 miles for the first check. So a lot of our customers will ride the whole life of their existence and not get to that point and have to pay for a valve clearance inspection. But 25,900, and so basically you've got a spin-on oil cartridge filter, an air filter's up under the tank. So oil and filter at like 3,500 miles and the 600-mile check, and then so very simple, easy.
Very simple maintenance.
Yep, and inexpensive.
All right. So, I mean, that is I love what they've added to it. I mean, that just brings it up one more notch.
Yeah.
Right? For the rider. It's just incredible. John, thank you so much for spending your time on the updates on the 700 here. Beautiful bike. Thanks for watching.